movement of crude oil on the U.S. rails has grown more than 4,100% between 2008 and 2013, and we see that continuing to increase. A lot of reasons for that. Obviously, a huge increase in the amount of production in this country in places that do not have a pipeline network, and also the challenges that we have in building a pipeline network in the current environment. But I want to make a point about first responders, who I worked with very closely when I was Attorney General. Under my jurisdiction was the state fire marshal. And so the state fire marshal did a lot of training for volunteer fire departments. We have an issue beyond this, which is that the growing number of people willing to volunteer for the volunteer fire service is dwindling. And that is challenging first responders all across the country. One of the reasons for that, other than time and inability to meet the challenges of the time constraints, is the lack of training, the sense that that they don't know how to respond. And that's why a bill like this is so critically important, that we begin to listen to this crisis of first responders, not enough volunteers. The bulk of the area of our country for fire service is delivered by volunteers. And so we've got to figure out ways that we can connect those volunteers to training. One of the big challenges today is training in hazardous and flammable material. We saw that again in West Virginia. I think this is a step in the right direction, but I'd like just the committee to know that this is an issue that I think belongs in this committee, should be addressed in this committee as we go forward with the challenges of first responders in the fire service. And so thank you, Mr. Chairman, for agreeing to put this on the markup, and hopefully this will be a first step in our response to the needs of volunteer first responders.